in this conference. Now, apart from the organizers, who of course are the Kilifi County government, who else is participating and how do they get involved in the conference?
Thank you. I think one of the things that I want to appreciate is the strategic moves that Kilifi County has made on its intentionality to bring everyone on board in terms of partners. And I think, and if I recall, 2 years ago when the current government came into power, led by His Excellency Gideon and Madam Flora, it was their intention to bring the private sector and the development sector on board. And they have made quite a number of steps, which I know the Deputy Governor will share. But so some of the partners, and the Deputy Governor has also mentioned about 98 investors who are directly investing in Kilifi County. We have quite a number of development partners who we have been working with. Just yesterday, we were hosted by the Swedish ambassador for the Nordic Day, and we have quite a number of strategic relationships, including some of which are digitizing our vocation training colleges in Kilifi through a program called School Try. We do have one of the largest real estate development in Kilifi, which is run by Centum Group, and they're also part of us, and in terms of believing in the agenda, and also something that I know is very close to the Deputy Governor's heart about the youth and employment, and I'd like her to talk about it, which is the export processing zones that we have in Kilifi County, who are also coming, which are one of the largest employers in Kilifi County.
How many pizzas do we have in Kilifi?
4.
Eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other day when do you call her Excellency Megan, right? When she came to see the governor and myself, she really reiterated that they want the EPZ to be big, the clothing part. As it is with them, we have the Revital in health, but they also want on the clothing, or rather textile industry. So with the EPZs currently, we have the implementing partners, the USAID, and those that they work with. For example, Generation Kenya, whereby the focus, the target, it's the youth. And we're looking at youth currently in skills, technical skills. And there's a lot. In fact, the biggest employer is all those who are working in those different sectors. In the clothing line, in the health facilities like the Revital I was talking about. And at the moment, we're talking of the Special Economic Zone Authority. We've just partnered with them. And when you're talking of spaces in Kilifi, we still have land. And we're already in negotiations. In fact, we're just waiting for gazettement, where we are going to have infrastructure, and it's going to, we are talking of 10,000 plus youths employment. Okay, we base youth, but of course in the youths we have the women, we have the men who sometimes feel left out. But that is the scope in which we want to take our people, our youth, because any leadership today that does not put the youth in mind, you're doomed. So those are the areas in which we really want to tap. So for us, the investment conference is all about creating opportunities that are going to give youth the jobs that we need. When you're talking about the youth bulge, you're talking about job creations. We are talking about connectivity. The chief officer mentioned why Kilifi, the proximity we have with MIA. We have Malindi Airport. Right in Vipingo Ridge, we have those small airstrips that can be there. And we are talking of, he just came in, we are talking of the epicenter with the Nordic countries, so that we bridge up. We bridge up that techno thing, because the world is going digital.
Absolutely.
And we have to create those spaces for our people, so that wherever you are, you could work. I remember, if we go back to during the COVID time, many people came to settle in Kilifi County. Why? The climate and the connectivity, the Wi-Fi. People could work from home.
People are actually moving and relocating to those
we
parts.
have 4 international schools, and we saw people just bringing. In fact, there was a very high student rate at that time, and we say, hallelujah for that.
Yeah.
So let me ask, what incentives is the county government of Kilifi offering to investors? I know, so there's the special economic zones, there's the EPZs that we've talked about. What incentives are you offering in terms of even licensing, access to permits, land and access to land? What else are you offering? So that you can tell the investors who come for the conference that actually I can make a decision to move over to Kilifi.
One of the things that I would want to start by saying is that over and above Kilifi County having political goodwill, it has made a political choice to be investor ready. And to that end, in the middle of last year, there was we organized an investor roundtable, an intentional meeting of everyone who has invested in Kilifi, and telling them what are some of the things, what are your bottlenecks in terms of doing business in Kilifi. And several sector-related meetings have been had, whether it's in mining, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in blue economy, so that we can unlock these bottlenecks. Through the government of His Excellency, the Governor, he's now set up donor relations and private sector engagement unit, which is a one-stop shop for any person who is coming to invest in Kilifi. The other outfit that has also been created by the Kilifi County government is a Kilifi Development Investment Corporation, which is now an outfit then to sort of be a place where you can go and get all your permits ready. And we've been able to see, demonstrate some of these things and some of these engagements with the real estate, for example. We have the One Voice Consortium that have chosen, these are members of the diaspora, who have chosen to construct their retirement homes and their holiday homes in Malindi. And through them, there was an intentional journey to work with them and make sure that, at any particular step. And I think they're one of our brand ambassadors in that. And something else that I would want the deputy governor to also mention, because this, for me, I see this as something that is more personal for them, being as coming from leadership and not just being in power, is how open they are to conversations. And it's something that we always get. I know His Excellency the Governor has just come back from Egypt, and where he was talking about urban development and making our municipals even bigger. And I want the deputy governor to chime in on the intentionality from a leadership point of view as well.
Okay, just allow me, even in this conversation, to talk about registration. Guys, the investment conference is on the 4th to the 6th of December. To access our registration lines, it's invest.kilifi.go.ke. Please get into your mobile phones and go to these spaces. And we also have a line which is open to every Kenyan in case you have any queries. That's 011 6 111 444. The same 0116 111 333, then 555. So don't forget invest.kilifi.go.ke. Come in sponsorship. Like at the moment, our main sponsors are the USAID agencies and team, KCB, Centum. So the real estate, the financial institution, and USAID with its developing partners. And we are also looking at, apart from why Kilifi, why investment, we want to create a space whereby international investors who come in, they're also going to talk about the different lineups we have. But also we want to acknowledge our very own from Kilifi. For example, currently the advisor to the president, we have Stanley Chai. He's seasoned in blue economy. So those are part of the experts who will be amongst the panelists. Then we are talking of Shaukat Abdul Razak. our very own from Mariakani, who currently is the director of the International Atomic Energy in Vienna. So while you're talking of Kilifi, we're not just talking about the spaces, we're not talking about the opportunities, but we're talking of having experts on our own who can also
Homegrown.
who can also give their views in why we should go this direction. Yes.
It's interesting to hear you say that. So I wanted to see how we can envision a direct connection between having the conference, the investment conference, the opportunities, and then the outcomes that you would already envision would happen as a result of this. So the conference happens on the 4th to the 6th of December.
Yes.
We wake up in 2025, for example. What do we expect to see as a result of this happening in the county?
Okay. You want to take it first? I'll finish.
I think one of the things I would like to paint is a picture of the journey, and I've mentioned the round table that we had last year with about 160 investors, and then there has been sector-related roundtables around tourism, blue economy, and mining. And now what we are seeing now is, and I like now to go back to your proverb. Yeah, we have been seeing a lot of things happening all over Kutosha, and we're now giving it a home. And that's why for us, when you think about the launch of the Kilifi Development in Investment Corporation, we are finding home. And so any investor who then comes in, then there is ways in which we are moving on with the conversation. One of the things on how we have curated this particular program for the conference is that we have even invited private partners and our partners as well to be knowledge managers for each session. So, for example, we have the Africa Health Business doing our health-related conversation. We do have Tony Blair Institute, which is curating our manufacturing agenda, so that the conversation does not end on the 7th after we've played golf. It continues to Q1 of 2025. The Deputy Governor has mentioned about our intention to sort of twin the epicenter in Stockholm, which is the largest innovation center in Europe, in Stockholm, with the Kilifi Innovation Hub that we are planning to do. So there's quite a lot. So we want, and one of the things that, and I think this is one of the things I would want to quote the governor saying, he has always told some of us who are planning this is that I do not want a talk show. I want, action. I want action-oriented things to be done during that particular conference. So this is a conference with a difference. If I may just
the question is, what's the picture looking like in 2025?
What are we going to see happening? Yeah.
So we want an increase in infrastructure development in Kilifi. We want to look at more job creations. Currently, we don't have enough. We are talking of a percentage of maybe over 40% to also be incorporated. Currently, we are talking of about 45. Okay, we want to be optimistic. We said that the remaining 55 to be incorporated, but I know it's going to happen in phases. Yes, we are looking at sustainable growth. We're talking of food security. I mean, we want sustainability in everything that we do. We are looking at diversified economy. As it is, Kilifi is diversified. Mention Kilifi, you have all tribes in it. We have all part of the nationalities. For example, in Kilifi right now, we are saying the tourism has been the backbone. I can tell you, we have Kilifians who can speak in Italian. You can think they were born there. In fact, we have a small Italian village in Kilifi. So we are trying to say, even the international spaces, they can find home in Kilifi County. We are looking at enhancing the quality of life.
For Kilifians?
For Kilifians. I mean, there's more to just, we are not looking at, when you're talking of this investment conference, we are not saying, hello, just look at the profits. That when you come in, you're going to make profits. But we're looking at how is this Kilifian transformed? When investors, you're coming into Kilifi, how are you touching my women, the youth, the men in Kilifi County? We want value addition. We want transformation. We want a people who will appreciate what these investors are doing. We thank God for the ones we have, but for the ones that we are bringing on board. That is why part of the space during the development, the investment conference, we are going to have field visits, whereby we've designated a few of the investors, so that the whole team that comes in, they can actually sample and see. Seeing is believing, guys.
Yep.
You know, the Thomas type of Christians. We have to see so that we believe. Yes, touch. So we are saying, come over to Kilifi. You know, people have the mindset that Kilifi, Nushago, and you know, we were big in Shakahola thing, but we have a lot that we can talk about Kilifi. When you come to the spaces of Kilifi, you will believe indeed this is it. Okay?
I want to ask the question about, so as you attract all these investors, they're coming in and they have very many requirements. If it's agro-processing, if it's tourism and development in blue economy, if it's real estate, they will need skilled labor.
Absolutely.
Is Kilifi ready to offer this?
One of the things I would like to mention, so you said rightly, so during COVID time, we had an influx of people who are working from home. In fact, it was, for us, you know, from Kilifi County, it was an economic boost because we had quite a lot of people coming there. And one of the strategic decisions that we made and partnerships that we made is with an organization called Powerland Project. And Powerland Project wants to do 1 million developers, software developers in Africa. And part of their dream, we plugged into part of their dream to do 5,000 within the next 5 years. We've now already graduated 350 learners with software skills. What I'm driving at is that we are intentional about creating a critical mass that can fit into the job market, whether it's for export or whether it's for local consumption. Her Excellency mentioned about generation, where we are partnering with them to sort of, and I like the model for generation because they say if there is no employment opportunity, then we are not going to upskill these people. And so with more partners, what we're trying to do even within the special economic zone that we are now setting up, which is one of the field visits, 3,000 acres, with very good strategic conversations with the Chinese Chamber of Commerce as well, and also when you look at the tourism as well, one of the other strategic partnerships that we are doing is with KCIIC, you know, as a leader in MICE for over 50 years, and we're in discussion about how they're going to empanel Kilifi as one of the destinations that they carry along in terms of in terms of marketing out there. Okay. We are also big in sports tourism as well. We also big, having one of the scenic Vipingo Ridge, where we're going to be having our conference, is only PGA rated, of course, within the region as well.
That's true. As we conclude, Madam Deputy Governor, give us your parting shots about this Kilifi County International Investment Conference, 4th to 6th of December. invest.kilifi.go.ke. What are the final words?
My final words is, when you think Kilifi, think global, you know? Think of opportunities. For example, he just mentioned about the special economic zone. We are talking of 3,000 acreage. We are manufacturing will thrive. We are incentives for both local and international will thrive on that place. We are talking of manpower. We have enough manpower, skilled and unskilled, trainable, and we are saying come to these spaces so that you can actually see for yourself what Kilifi has to offer. We are talking of apart from the ambience, apart from the tourism attraction that we have, there's a lot. The mining sector, food security, blue economy, which is the driving force. Just to mention, His Excellency Gideon Maitha Mng'aro is the chair of the Jumuiya za County za Pwani. We are 6, stretching from Lamu all the way to Taita Taveta. And we are driving blue economy and agribusiness. We have the ocean around us. We have River Sabaki around us. We want spaces. For example, one other thing we want to look at in water, for example. We want to increase our productivity. We want spaces whereby in health and sanitation, when you're talking of health tourism, when you're talking of conference tourism, because we want to be big in it. And we are calling on the locals, we are calling on the international spaces, that there is something in you in the investment conference, both in networking, the space in you, in marketing, for the small businesses.
Yeah.
No one is left out. We are saying in Kilifi, we are not leaving anyone behind. It's about coming in, tapping into the conversation, because the entrepreneurship conversation that is going to go on, the discussions, you're living with knowledge, you're living with networks, and you're giving room for new investors to come and tap in Kilifi County.
Thank you very much. Again, the Kilifi County International Investment Conference will be taking place next month, the 4th to the 6th of December. There'll be a golf tournament on the 7th. Okay. And to get more information about it is invest.kilifi.go.ke. That's invest.kilifi.go.ke. The numbers you can call 011 611 333 or 444 or 555.
Yes.
011 611 333 444 555. Her Excellency Flora Chibule, the Deputy Governor of Kilifi County, Charles Kamau, Advisor on Strategic Partnerships, and earlier we also had Lynn Farah, the Chief Officer for Trade.
Dental tips brought to you